Somebody sleeping in my bed, messing with my head. Now, y'all know what's done in the dark will always come to the light. And this time, the sneaky link got caught up because you can't lie good. You don't work well under pressure. Okay? Number one rule, deny, 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 deny. But if you are new here, I am Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist who loves reality TV relationship shows. And we're about to get into this episode of Married at First Sight from a therapist perspective because a lot happened. So pull up, get comfortable, hit that like, turn on the notification bell, and girl, we gonna get into some things, okay? Now, we are still at the uncoupled retreat. You know why? Because there ain't no couples. And now I'm wondering, if Ike was here, would any of this have happened? Would he be such a distraction that maybe a little bit would have came out or none of it? Because, you know, when Ike is on scene, a lot of chaos happens mentally that people get distracted. So I'm like, if he had stayed, would all this really happen? Okay. But of course, Michelle is in the kitchen. Okay. She got her tears. And y'all be in my comments saying, what are white tears? Google is your friend. Okay. Google is your friend. Now, Michelle is in there, you know, how come whenever I talk, nobody wants to listen? It just feels like you guys don't care, you know, laying on thick. All right. And of course, once again, we're coddling Michelle. We see the experts do it. Now we're seeing Carla do it. Everyone's just like, girl, we hear you. But sometimes we want to hear what David has to say. And we're kind of conflicted, I would think, as a cast at this part in the game, y'all. Because we see how you treat him. Okay, we see that he does try. But girl, you're not giving in. So, can we listen to him? But Michelle is so caught up in her Nancy Drew era. Murder, She Wrote, Matlock. Okay, diagnosis murder. That all she wants to do is investigate. Okay? Because she wants to be proven right. She wants to say, I told y'all I wasn't crazy. I told you so. She's looking to me for outside validation that, see, this is why I never tried. Because look, from the beginning, he was creeping. And y'all think there's something wrong with me? Well, really, this is a trash human being, according to her. She wants the world to know that David is a trash human being. He is a problem. Don't look at me. Look at him. And look at Madison. I didn't do nothing wrong. I showed up. I was a wife. But he chose to dip out in our marriage and cheat. Now, what is cheating really? It depends on, to me, it's a little subjective. Some people see emotional things as cheating. Physical things as cheating. Texting as cheating. Being in somebody's DMs as cheating. So to me, you know, cheating is in the eye of the beholder, the person in the relationship, and what they, you know, perceive cheating to be. But according to Michelle, you know, David's been cheating the whole time. Okay. So don't come at me about why I wasn't a wife. It's because he was cheating the whole time. So they have this conversation in the kitchen. Y'all, I'm looking at my notes because so much happened. Okay. She's upset. She feels like her and David have not come to a final resolution. Okay? What is going to be the resolution of our marriage? What are we doing here? And essentially, I guess she wants closure. Do you guys feel like closure and resolution are the same thing? Because I feel like there was never a marriage to begin with. She checked out the day she saw him at the end, at the altar. And even more so, when she found out he was living at his mama's house in the basement is when she checked out. So how can you want resolution for something that never began? Something that never had any type of foundation, as I say over here. Never had a chance to really thrive and survive when you checked out. And we have seen over and over again, David try to the point of, how much can a person really take? But I want to know from you guys, does she need resolution or does she need validation? Okay? Because to me, this is a woman who's seeking to be proven. This is why I don't have to take accountability. This is why I was always right. See, y'all try to make me look crazy. Y'all try to make it look like something was wrong with me when in reality, they were creeping on the low. And my women's intuition always told me. All of a sudden, now you have women's intuition. Girl, okay. I hate when people say, well, it was my intuition. It was like, girl, it was not. It's because you're snooping. Because you want to find answers. You go looking for something, what they say. You're going to find something. All right. Now, Michelle and the ladies are, having this conversation about she's suspicious. Okay. Her Nancy Drew is kicking in. Scooby doing the mystery kids. They link up in the bedroom, and they're trying to find out what's really going on. All right. You got Daphne there. Okay, you got Emem there, and you got Camille. And they're trying to figure out what is really going on. But it's led by Michelle. But it seems like, are they really just feeding into what she's saying, or do they also kind of feel like something going on? The only person to me in that little, Scooby-Doo circle of people was probably Camille, who really didn't have no idea because she is so into trying to make her marriage work on a show about marriage that she wasn't thinking about. She was minding her own business in her marriage, what this show used to be about. Okay. So she was just like, what? Huh? What? I don't know who's more oblivious, Camille or Alan. But I think Camille's only oblivious because she been minding her own business in her marriage. Okay. Now we get to also, Madison line a fire up under Alan. Okay. Now, to me, that whole conversation, did I skip over something real quick? Oh, let's talk about Madison being on this date with Alan. Okay. Before I move along. Now, it's interesting to me because I feel like Madison, out of the two people, David and Madison to me is the real liar. At least with David, he has put in time, effort into his relationship. But Madison has been, when we say lying, leading on, we're going to go with lying. Okay? From the beginning, she was not attracted to him. She was never interested. And it's sad because I feel like Alan was a victim here. And how can this woman just, for weeks, look at him, lie to him, put him through, him buying clothes, going to try on the clothes, him thinking about getting his teeth fixed, her going out at night and lying to him. I wonder about a woman's character who can put a man through that and not really care about the effects of it. What does that say about you as a person, your own character, that you lied to this man? We saw y'all try and connect on different excursions, on these dates. He asked you if, you can see us being in forever because I can see us being in forever. And you got a little bit quiet. Okay. But why not tell Alan that it's just not working? Week 3, what are we on, are we on week 5 now? Maybe week 6? Closer to the decision day. Why waste this man's time knowing the trauma he has been through? Knowing that, to me, he's been vulnerable about his childhood trauma, the things he's seen, the things he experienced. And to me, he's always just wanted to be loved and wanted to be seen. And here I am thinking that I'm pouring into this marriage and I'm really trying to make it work with this person who is alluding that they're trying to work. But in reality, they have feelings for my friend. Okay? Now we're going to get to the whole friend thing because y'all get caught up in having friends who aren't really your friend. Take that D off the end. They your friend. No D. Sound it out. Friend. No D. Okay? So watching him go on this date with her, I'm just like, damn, she really lying. She really smiling. Somebody say that's a little bit, crazy. All right, a little psychotic. A little antisocial personality. Okay, I'm not saying that. But for someone to look you in the face, dead ass in the eyes, and lie to you with no emotion, yeah, you got to think about that. Okay, because she was on that date and knowing that my real man is at the house. You know, the one I really want to sneak on over to the bedroom with. The one I'm just busting out waiting to tell how I feel. We taking shots, we giggling and drinking topocos in the kitchen. Like topachinos, whatever they call it, We in the kitchen having a good old time. The most time I see her smiling is when she's with David. And I was like, damn, Alan, homie, you got played bad. He never saw it coming. All right. And so Michelle decides, you know what? I'm going to skip over the whole Carla and Juan pottery date. You can kind of see there that there is something there. When the experts match them, I still see potential, but Juan at times, he puts his toe in the water, then he put his whole foot in the water, then he like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to watch you play in the water over there. But Juan is a good time. It's just, he's in his own head so much that he cannot allow himself to get close to Carla. But Carla also just shows this like aloofness that at times I think that that's just a turnoff. I think if she was more established and grounded, he would probably try and make it work with her. But it's cool to see them. You see the potential. You see the friendship developing that could potentially move into a marriage. But Juan is just he's too analytical. And I think sometimes people self-sabotage relationships because they're in their head too much. Michelle. Okay. But on Juan's side, to me, it's more like, I don't want to get close to you because I've been through so much trauma with some abandonment things from my parents, assimilation, some immigration things. But I also see that Carla to him does not represent a healthy foundation, a healthy place where I can just pour into this financially. He thrives off stability, especially being a child who comes from being in survival mode. Stability for people who have been in survival mode, who've gone through poverty, that is so important to have that stability. And if they don't feel stable in that relationship, like this is something that I can trust, I can believe in, that can provide me with stability, they won't go into it because it takes them back to a place of being in survival mode. And I think that's what's happening with Juan, is that sometimes Carla represents back over here. And he's worked hard to not have to go back there. So I can't be with you, girl, because you represent where I don't want to be no more. Similar in some ways to Michelle, who also has some poverty trauma. And she feels like David represents that. But I feel like with Michelle, she weaponizes her trauma against him and uses it in a way to make excuses for her behavior and to not really engage and pour into their relationship. But it was good to see them have scenes throughout this episode where it's like, okay, like, I see why I got matched, but Juan has to work through that abandonment trauma, survivor's remorse, probably some of that, and that poverty trauma, so that he can get past the wall he has of when he feels like a situation, a person, a place does not represent stability. Okay, now let's get to the heat, the spice, the caliente. Okay, so Michelle decides, you know what? Throughout this episode, I've seen her have little conversations with Al in the kitchen. Then she had a conversation with him outside. She's, to me, trying to bring him in. Now, to me, it's not about really helping him see the light. I feel like she needed validation. And for someone to come onto her side of, yeah, come over here, I need somebody else, it was not helpful. And at times, it felt like a ploy to get what she wanted, and he ended up being hurt. I feel like there was not a lot of let's take into consideration from anybody this episode into Alan's feelings. Hell, you saw a producer go after Madison, but you only saw a producer go after Alan after the explosion. I didn't see a lot of pre-stuff knowing that this is about to blow up. But once again, to me, it's all about Michelle. Michelle wants what she wants. She is a dog, and when she gets a bone and her mind made up, you can't change her mind. And she was going to, air this shit out during the trip no matter what. And so throughout this episode, her and Alan have conversations, and Alan to me is just so oblivious. He never saw it coming. And it's just really sad to just see this man be hurt, be broken, be hurt by Madison. And to me, in some ways, let me know your thoughts, to be hurt by Michelle also. Because Michelle was in it for, I want the truth. Okay? And I need you to see this because I see it. I need validation. And I need you to come on over here and get with the team, get with the A team, okay? You're being played, my brother. You're being played. And it was like, I feel like these different conversations she had with Alan could have come from a place of, hey, I want to talk to you. Let's have an emotionally intelligent conversation instead of more of a, come on my side. It's all about me. A lot of conversations with Michelle and these other cast members are all about herself. All about Michelle, what Michelle needs, what Michelle wants. And when she doesn't get what she wants, she in some ways has a tantrum. Oh, guys, you never want to hear from me. Everyone wants to hear about David. David. Okay? So watching her have these different conversations with Alan, I'm like, this to me is a selfish move. Where is the care to your friend? We've heard that word over and over throughout this episode. Friend, your close friend. Okay? Where was the care? And so I feel like watching her is just like, you move in a selfish way. You move with self-preservation, survival of the fittest in your eyes. She is still, to me, a person stuck in survival mode. And I think survival mode looks different for different people. People think of it as like being broke, struggling. But this to me is another example of being in survival mode. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to survive and prove a point. And people are going to get hurt in the process. But in the end, I'm going to come out right. I'm going to survive. So I just think it was unfortunate that once again, another person in this cast who's supposed to be a friend puts Alan out there to be hurt. Okay. Now, Madison also tries to have conversations with Madison. Now, the first conversation, I believe it was about, was a text message meant for you? Huh? No. No. Have y'all noticed that Madison has a very uncomfortable laugh when she's in the spotlight and she's caught up? No. No. And Madison, girl, you don't work well under the spotlight. You are not a good liar. Your body language says so much to me. Okay? The bouncing of the hair, the awkward laugh, the pitch in your voice that changes, you're caught up. All right? So at first she's like, no, it wasn't for me. I never got a message. Okay? And of course, Michelle goes back into her Nancy Drew bag. Now, y'all was both at the club. The text came in. You see how we both have M names. Okay? And you see it. All right? It's like watching an episode of SVU. It's slowly unraveling. You have all these different things happening. You're watching like, how is this all going to fit together? And then you see Michelle put it all together. All right? Now, things start to unravel. All right? Alan's in the bed. He's all humbug. He's like, damn, I ain't got played. And once again, I want you guys also to recognize that Alan does not have emotional regulation. To me, he was not probably taught that. It was not mirrored to him. So when he gets mad, he doesn't know how to healthily, in a healthy way, lower his emotions so that they don't get the best of him. Okay? So I wish that Michelle had picked up on that or cared enough to notice that, giving him this information and knowing how he can become emotional at times and just explode probably wasn't the best idea. Also, they've been drinking all day. They've been drinking all weekend, and it just wasn't a good idea. Okay? So, Madison at some point is like, okay, I can't do this no more. This lie, I just can't. And she, to me, is the one who, between Madison and Michelle and David, it was really Madison's fault because she couldn't hold the lie no more. And we see her, after having a conversation with, I believe, was Michelle being confronted once again, the pressure got to her. And of course, a producer ran after her. But I'm like, there was no producer. And where were the experts? Y'all couldn't have the experts in like an ensuite, a mother-in-law room or something so that when, shit pops off, they'll be there to help calm the situation down. Something. Y'all had to know this couples retreat, based off of all the couples retreats in these seasons, never turns out good. It's bad juju. I'm not sure if it's because it's close to decision day, what it is, but every time we have a couples retreat, it never goes well. All right. So we see a producer go in there and she finally says, I think the producer asked, did the producer ask if she had feelings or if any of this is possibly true? And she's like, well, I just, defeat. Okay. Because she's like, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't. All right. So it explodes. Everything explodes. And it's interesting to me how Madison and David have a conversation in the open. I feel like when David got to this trip, it was just, I don't give a F. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of trying. I'm done. So having that mindset and that attitude, I was like, okay, this ain't looking good. So they have a conversation. They both admit we like each other. Now we know it was fake. It was fake. Michelle acting like this the first time she heard that text was for her. Okay. After showing Michelle, we got to talk about you, girl, because Madison, when you show somebody your phone and you already said you have conversations and you text with this person and then you bring your phone downstairs and then ain't no messages, girl. Can you be that stupid? You didn't think she was going to say like, well, let me see the deleted folder, search his name. Oh, there's no messages. See, I told you. For her, it had to be after that scene, the jig was up. Okay? Scooby-Doo and his crew decided, okay, we figured it all out. We put the pieces together. The episode's almost over. You and them kids. If it wasn't for you and them kids, I would have been able to get away with this crime, as they say in Scooby-Doo. You and them damn kids. Them meddling kids. So they have a conversation and I'm like, yeah, we like each other. The text was for you. Me? It was? You like me? And the Oscar goes to for the lioness mistress. The mistress who lies so well. Played by Madison. Okay, your acting was terrible. It was a to-be scene, okay? It was a to-be scene. All right? You should have remembered your lines. And they just decide, yeah, we like each other. Let's get it out there. And it was almost like David did he forget he was married? Did he not care? Your wife is over there. Camilla's in the bed. Thomas is knocked out. And I want to know, what time was all this? Can someone tell me what time it was? Because it seemed like it was in the middle of the night or something. And David, it's interesting because he went to go talk to Alan before even talking to his wife. He has no respect for Michelle. Some of y'all might say that's a bad thing. Some of y'all say it's her karma. But he literally went to go talk to Alan like, hey, bruh, it's time. It's time for you to get hurt one more time. Right? So he says, I have more of a connection with your wife than my own. And Alan was not surprised. He's like, just land on me, bruh. Shoot the gun. Because I'm done. I'm just done. I'm just so hurt. And you see his body boiling with frustration, with anger. Because to me, nobody cares about Alan. Nobody does. And so Alan, of course, is frustrated. And I wonder, since everybody in the house was like, some people were asleep, but I wonder if production had people like stay in different places or something like that. Because when he walked in, nobody was downstairs. Madison, was she hiding? Or did production tell her to stay away from him because things could get explosive? Because she just in the bathroom gets wiping down the counters. Oh, did I do that? Did I do that? Oh, okay. They don't even have any type of conversation. It's just like, I'm done with Alan. I want David. That's my man. My man, my man, my man. Okay? Alan wasn't man enough for me, as Tony Braxton would say. All right? And so Madison and David, watching them, have, Michelle and David have this conversation, and he just don't care no more. And Michelle just wants to drag this dead horse. You lied. What'd you lie about? What'd you lie about? Because I want to know. I want everybody to see you're a trash human being. Remember? What'd you lie about? I lied about everything. Okay, it was no Tiffany. There was no food. The message was for Madison. What else you want from me, girl? What else you want from me? What else? Okay. Now, Alan is downstairs, outside, drunk, crying, being consoled by Juan and Emem. Okay. And it's just like this trip was a shit show. All right. But let's talk about you and y'all friends. Because y'all think everybody is a friend. Okay? And Michelle continued to say, you would do this to your close friend? You sleeping with my friend? Okay, y'all are associates on a TV show. You're all 1099s. Okay? Now when I look up, 1099, I do not see the word friend. We're castmates. But she wants to dig it in deeper. Okay? That you're worthless. You would do this to your close friend? Michelle, can you just stop? All right? Stop. But to me, it's just this whole episode was about Michelle getting her just due, wanting to prove a point that I knew all along, that they were in a relationship. Now, in the next couple episodes, and she did ask, did they ever sleep together? David said no. What y'all think? Do y'all really believe they never slept together? But the secret is out. Okay, so where do we go from here? Emem is going to get a divorce. Alan and Madison are done. Okay, so we have, coming up to decision day, we have Camille and Thomas, Juan and Carla. Anybody else? So what do you do? Because I think we still have 5 more episodes. I have not seen anything related to Decision Day. So we have a month's worth of episodes before Decision Day even happens, which I guess at this point will probably happen in April, to be honest with you guys. So we're going to have a couple episodes where the experts are confronting Madison and David. Again, they business. Did y'all sleep together? Just to run with something. But I think the experts once again felt these couples. Where are y'all at? Y'all should have been in a cabin or something down the road. So when this stuff pops up, y'all are here to counsel. Especially Alan. Everybody this season to me has just failed him. He is a true victim in all this because nobody was really shocked or surprised when the news came out. It's like everybody kind of knew or did know. Did y'all see the shock on anybody's face? No, nobody was shocked. But Alan. And it's sad because he deserves love. He deserves a wife who really wants to be with him. But who do we blame? Do we blame the experts? Do we blame production? Do we blame each of the cast members for saying like this is what I want instead of allowing the experts to really match them based off of what the experts thought they would match with? Who do you really blame? Okay. But you have a bunch of people who have a lot of unhealed trauma, lack of emotional intelligence, communicate through passive aggressiveness, and everyone is out for self. What they want, what they need. Okay. The only person I feel like that's really having a good time out of the dysfunctional couples is probably Juan. He's like, I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm going to have a good time. This is probably like a break from my regular life, the stress of building this app and this business. So to me, all the ones who ain't really doing well, Juan is at least having a good time. Camille and Thomas are the only ones that are going to say yes. So these are just kind of my thoughts on this episode. The secret is out. Whose side are y'all on? You on Madison's side? Yeah. Can you really be on her side? Okay. David, Michelle, and poor Alan. Okay. Now this was the first episode we got with no Ike. No Ike. And I wonder if production was not able to convince him to stay. Because I find it's interesting that he really did come to get them papers signed and then he dipped. And why did Emem stay? Should she have left also? Because what was her real purpose? But she was enjoying herself. Right? She was there to console Alan. But should she have left when he left? But I think it's interesting that he was able to get out of filming this episode. When I feel like so many times it feels like production has forced him to show up and stay. But this time he was like, I really did come to get them papers signed. Or paper signed. And when she didn't sign, he dipped. All right? But let me know your thoughts. The secret's out. Are y'all shocked, surprised? Do y'all really care? Should Madison and David be able to live happily ever after? Shit, should they have their own little wedding? A rematch? But let me know your thoughts because, of course, we can get into it. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.